This is a buddy of mine that you can look completely different, by the way, than the last time I saw him. He looks good. He looks good. Lee and James Brown, we served in the Marines together, and it's awesome to be in touch, back in touch with him. He's got an awesome wife, and they serve the military throughout California and all over the globe. It's part of the organization, Wine Country Marines, and we would have 5-mile runs, and he could only do 2, but that's all right. That's all right. But LaRoe, would you bring that up before me, please? But I'd like to do. Why don't you give a round of applause?
Yeah.
This is his dog here. Now, in the Marine Corps, well, you can explain it to him, James. I'm not going to say it. Okay. Is it going to eat me?
So there's several of our other board members. Can you guys all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's several of our other board members that are here as well. And so I'm looking for everyone here. So to the right over there is Jamie Borges-Visa. I've known her since before she enlisted in the Commission of the Marine Corps, so I still slip with her names and sometimes. There's Jamie, and then we've got Jen Herson over here with Great City. There's another Jim Cameron. Brian McCullough, right here sitting, and then next to Brian is Lieutenant General Martin Miller. So what we've got here is a part of a Marine Corps tradition and history. We're going to be presenting this to somebody shortly. Actually, there's another white country who just walked in. That's Judge Pete Kanukian. And the judge is actually a Gold Star father as well. His son Matthew was killed in Afghanistan and received the Navy Cross posthumously, a true hero. But the Marine Corps is full of history and traditions. Many people don't know this, but like our dress blues, we have 7 buttons to symbolize the 7 seas that we serve in. There are 13 stars on every button to symbolize There are 13 stars to symbolize the 13 original colonies. There's the red blood stripe on the dress blue trousers. That's because 80% of the casualties in the Battle of Chapultepec were corporals and above, so now corporals and above wear that. So the Marine Corps is full of history and tradition. And when the United States was a very new country, roughly 15, 18 years after the Constitution was signed, we were under attack by Islamic extremists that were called the Barbary Pirates. And the American government did not have the ability to protect our seamen and our civilians at sea, and they were being captured. They were being sold into slavery. They were being executed. And so Thomas Jefferson basically sent a group of Marines led by Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon to take care of this. And Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon and a handful of Marines and a whole bunch of mercenaries hiked 700 miles, I would say about 500 miles through the desert, and they took on the enemy and they defeated them. And at the end of that battle, Lieutenant O'Bannon was presented with a sword called the Mameluke sword. And to this day, over 200 years later, Marine officers still carry that sword. And this is it right here. Wow. And so this sword is a symbol of history, tradition, sacrifice, honor, courage, commitment, you name it. And so 2 of your parishioners, Bob and Jill Leal, have been very instrumental in helping service members all across the country. They recently helped a 4-year-old child of a sailor who has brain cancer. They helped a Marine who died of COVID. His wife was in college. They provided a monthly stipend for her. Just tremendous amounts of support. And so today, they're going to be walking in here about 1 o'clock, which is in like 3 minutes, and we're going to present them with this sword as a thank you and as a tribute to everything that they've done. And so this is what we're going to be doing here today.
Okay. Before we do that, we got a song that we're going to play here, and I think it'd be appropriate. So, Peter, would you play? Okay. Here we go.
No acapellas though.
I will tell you, when we were 18 years old, we were roommates in the Marines, and this isn't the music you played. So, yeah, we had a difference of opinion on music, but other than that, we got along great.
Yeah. Beat music, that's why.
Yeah, and I didn't like mariachi, but we looked at that.
Okay, you all can be seated again.
Yep. So this Marine walking up now is Master Sergeant Adam Graybow, and he's going to assist us. I'm just waiting for the news to show up. Thanks. So I'll give a brief synopsis of the history of the sword. And Bill, when the wheels come in, if you just want to kind of share with them why we're giving it to them. Is that Larry? So another Marine Country Marine just stepped in. So this is recently retired. That's recently retired Sergeant Major Larry Lichty. So,
Daryl, do you think you might say a few words?
so hi, Larry.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. If not, that's okay.
Sure, I can say the name.
He's excited, so.
Yes, come in.
Just a little background about yourself.
Well, sure, I won't talk about myself, but, I'll talk about the fine men and women that are serving in the Marine Corps now, in the past, and the future Marines that we'll have defending the nation. But not only the Marines, the soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Coast Guard that voluntarily put on that uniform and go out and do what I call the nation's dirty work. Because there is a tremendous amount of bad stuff that players around the world would point towards the United States, and the people that take care of that are the young men and women that voluntarily put on the uniform and go out and do this nation's bidding. So what I've seen when I've deployed overseas into combat, one of the most important things for those young Americans, what they look for, of course, is leadership from their particular service, and we claim in the Marine Corps we're pretty darn good at it. But what they all look for is they're looking back over their shoulder. They want to see that they have the support of the moms and dads and citizens and friends of the United States for what they're doing. Regardless of what your political beliefs are or how you feel about a particular operation around the world, it's the young kids that we send over there to do the work, and they don't get a vote in it. Once they put on that uniform and raise the hand, they swear to protect the nation and what that nation asks them to do. So it's so vitally important for what you all do here to support those young men and women. And they're all, there was some thought process about how are the young men and women going to perform on today's battlefield? Are they up to par with what the greatest generation was? The Marines, as an example, that stormed the beaches at Iwo Jima and Peleliu and Okinawa and ended up in Japan. Are they up to par with the greatest generation? And we used to kind of look at each other and go, well, we don't know. We saw kids riding around in cars with boom boxes and doing all kinds of crazy things that we as an older generation, what I mean by older generation, are senior officers and sergeant majors like Sergeant Major Lichty would look at the kids and go, oh, we don't really know how they're going to perform when push comes to shove and the rounds start flying down range and the blood starts flowing. We found out really quick from my experience in 2003 in Iraq and Afghanistan that when you ask a young man or woman to go do this nation's bidding in combat, they are up to par with the greatest generation. They just so if we have another hour or two, I could go on, but I won't. We'll wait for the guest of honor.
They're in the parking lot now.
Okay, they're in the parking lot, a couple more minutes. But when they put on their battle rattle, they'll get that look in their eye, and they'll charge into very dangerous situations. But what was interesting is they're always looking back over their shoulder to make sure that they have your support. So thank you for what you do day in and day out to support not only the Marines, but the soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guard that go out and do the hard work of this nation. Thanks, Gil.
Thank you, sir.
Whenever you're ready, necessary.
How you guys doing today?
Very well.
I don't like microphones, so it's okay. I'm pretty sure I can talk loud enough. But I want to say thank you to every single one of you for welcoming me to your home. It is a big and it's a blessing to be able to come here today on behalf of the White Fence Marines and all the other Marines and soldiers, sailors, Coast Guards, all military veterans in the Bay Area, from all the way north, all the way down south, of everything that they've done. But without the White Fence Marines, they can't do it without a special group of people that do it. And that's the community that's out there and supporting them. Okay, and this couple right here has made a dramatic difference in the Bay Area. And I've actually sit there witnessed that some of the Marines actually lost their homes in the fires or different things to getting robbed on the way up here where all their whole belonging that they've ever had with their wife and their children to getting lost and actually being able to recuperate because of special people that donate their time. Okay, so just like the military, we get a chance to make a difference over there, but when we come back, we can't do it without you guys that here. Go for your guys' hearts and minds and welcome us and thank you. So today I have the pleasure to present a sword to Mr. Real for everything they've done that makes a dramatic difference in the community and things that the Marines have done, and allows us to go out there every single day and make a change over in, no matter where we're battling at. Some of us are battling at home, some of us lose our lives, but they really make, that we suffer, but at the end of the day, just you guys there welcoming us and making a difference. We see it every day. So on behalf of the Marines, behalf of every military service member, veteran that you guys have had an opportunity to make a difference, so I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And on behalf of the White Fence Marines as well, so thank you for everything you've done.
The blade is engraved United States Marine Corps. There's a section there to engrave their names. Bob and Jill, thank you guys so much. You all have been such a huge blessing, and the ways that you helped our men and women and their families and all across the branches of service. Thank you so much. You made a lot of lives much better because of your generosity and your help. So thank you both. God bless you. That being said, we're going to go ahead and close out the service. And, sir, would it be okay if we took a couple of pictures with some of the guys around here? Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, perfect. All righty, sounds good. Hey, church, God bless you. I love you. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you back next week. God bless you all.